Okay. Hello, everyone. A very good evening to everyone. Okay, so this is the market analysis for the upcoming week, which is the 23rd of November until the 29th of November 2020. Yes, okay. So, so in this video, I'm only will be looking into daily time frame. Okay, daily time frame for the analysis. Okay, so let's get back to where we start before. Okay, which is AUD pair. Okay, we always start from A. Okay, start from A. So in this chart, okay, as we can see last week we do have take some trade over here and over here. So because due to the low liquidity in the market, okay. So during this time, okay, how market behavior, how human behavior are actually being affected. So during this time, okay, a lot of people, including my members, some of them, okay, they've been struggling. Why your strategy like cannot work? Because basically it's not the strategy not work. It's basically the market doesn't move because it's in low liquidity. Okay, in low liquidity. So so in this situation, what you can do is you can do nothing. Okay, you can do nothing. Basically, once you entry, this is the investment market. Okay, investment market always require highly patient. Okay, highly patient. Maybe you used to when you used to trade when the market, or when you trade and then market just move directly and directly, and also very impulsively. But this is not all the time. Okay, not all the time. As you know that sometimes that the market will also move slow, so you need to be patient. Okay, in this situation we are able to see another drop. Yeah, I'm still seeing a drop sign because there's no buyer yet to controlling for further upside. Okay, for further upside, that's why we are able to see another downside. Okay, another downside. Okay, so this should be a Aussie dollar. Okay, Aussie dollar, and then next we go to Aussie cat. So so Aussie cat. Okay, we're going to see mostly the same thing because when we look into trend wise, okay, this is what we call as lower low, and then lower low. So where's the lower high? So the lower high will be somewhere around here. Okay, so this area we can see, okay, seller is coming in already. So next week onward, we can see the drop first. Okay, first drop of course will be looking in at here first. Okay, the first drop we can see over here first, which means we may look for a sell opportunity to bring the market down to this level first. Okay, listen carefully, guys. Okay, down to this year. I don't want any misunderstanding. Okay, always follow your risk management. Yes, maybe you will see I'm taking a big lot. Okay, but the big lot that I handling, okay, is what I can afford. Okay, which is I able to afford the risk. And then another thing, you might see I have some trade that float like 200 or 300 pips. Okay, so if you seeing this, okay, doesn't mean that I'm wrong or market or I simply trade, because some of the trade, okay, I look into small time frame to trade. Some of the trade I look into like weekly, daily, weekly or monthly chart to trade. So if float around like 200 or 300 pip, because I'm entering in a bigger time frame, which is weekly or monthly, just a normal situation. It's just a normal, because we are looking into long run. For those who are low, between short side, you may see that, oh, it's like a force or anything. Okay, so I can say that everyone, when at the end of the day, okay, end of the day, when you become real master, okay, you definitely have your own behavior or your own way to treat the market. Okay, so to be honest, that to say, you no need to just keep on insult others. Okay, insult others, just be on your method. Okay, if you really uh if you wanted to trade on higher time frame, of course, okay, of course, you need to let the market like retrace, or having a big retracement or pullback will be much more bigger uh, room. Okay, so this will be the Aussie cat. Okay, so always, okay, let me make an announcement. Okay, always follow, okay, follow your own, okay, your own affordable risk. Okay, so like as I say, I will only look into daily time frame. Okay, so in this daily time frame, okay, we can slightly see something already happen. Okay, market lower low, lower high, okay, lower low. Okay, even though market come up to here, okay, but okay, I can see a setup already formed, so I'm going to have a short first. So short until of this level, we can see is there any setup to bring the market up again? Not. Okay, so this one or CN, we also able to look for short entry, okay, short entry. So always look for key line level to short your entry. Okay. The next will be Aussie Swiss franc. Okay, Aussie Swiss franc. Okay, Aussie Swiss franc. Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, market already reached can be say as a recent high. Okay, not recent, historical high. A historical high because this historical high is during June. Okay, June. So when the market reach this level, the market able to drop to this level. So every time when you see the market mostly touched around this area, also can be reached to this level. Here also can reach to this level. So we might, okay, we can expect something same to be happen to drop. Okay, we can expect something same to drop. But okay, but as we can see, the market is keep on climbing up. Okay, I will short. Okay, I will short until the market able to break lower than this, which means market able to close below than this level, then I can look for a short trade. Otherwise, I will just observe or buy will be a better choice. Okay, buy will be a better choice first. Okay, the next will be AUD anxiety. The AUD anxiety is like we can see mostly the same thing. Okay, okay, okay. So we can see that market there's an opportunity for market to retrace back to this level. So this is the level that able to give me a better risk reward. Why? Because when the market able to retrace to this level, my downside, okay, downside will be just low downside, okay, and huge upside, okay, huge upside because our SL is just around above this area, right? So I can place my SL there and then I can enjoy this kind of profit. But for this trade, okay, I will be wait for a retracement first. So I'm not going to sit in front of the monitor just to monitor, but I'm going to place some pending order here to let the market trigger itself, okay? So most of to be honest to say, okay, to be honest to say, most of the people that fail in this market is that because there's no patience. They are the one who are no patient to trade because they think of that when you open the market, okay, open the before, listen carefully at the words that there must be an opportunity for you to trade. Yes, but you forget about one very important thing, which is there's the opportunity, but you need to wait for the opportunity to come. You wait for the opportunity to come. Okay. I hope that everyone can hear my voice. Okay. 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 So when we can see market will be retraced to this level and we can see a downside. Okay, downside. I will look for short when the market come back to this level, which provide me a better risk reward. Okay, so you may also entry just here because if you are a person that you are so much aggressive, you cannot withstand. You cannot wait for any market to reach your better entry area, but you just wanted to trade because your hand very cheap. So I advise here you entry a little size and small volume first. Okay, go for small volume first. And at the same time, it's always to say that you must always follow your own risk management. Okay, the next will be Aussie New Zealand. Sorry, New Zealand dollar. And we only look into and like we only look into daily. So in this chart, as you can see, market already entering a new territory. Okay, new territory, which means there's no data for us to, and so I will be looking into weekly chart. Okay, so weekly same thing. Okay, same thing. This level. Okay, this is our key level. Okay, so market already entering this area. Okay, so let me place the key line over here. Okay, so basically, indeed, in weekly time frame, okay, in weekly time frame, we able to see that the market will reach this high, as you can see. Every time when the market reach this level, okay, every time when the market reach this level, there must be seller coming in to push down. There must be a seller coming in to push, seller coming in to push. Okay, So there's also an opportunity, okay, also an opportunity that the market able to push by seller, at least able to push until of this level, okay, push until of this level, okay, this level. So for NZD dollar, I will look into the chart, okay, I will look into chart which is in H4 or H1, the smallest time frame is H1, to see is there any setup for me to short, or I will wait for patiently wait the market, right? The market to change the trend first, right? Wait patiently, wait for the market to change the trend. Then I will look into for sell trade. Okay, I will look into for sell trade. This is very high potential for short, to be honest to say. Okay, this trade is so much high potential for you to trade because as you can see, if you can see in weekly chart, okay, already reach a very top price. Okay, already reach a very top price. So this price, as you can see before, how long is it? It's 2018. When 2018, the market able to reach this price, already rejected for few times already, right? Rejected for few times. So this time, at least it can reject it first, and then there's a potential also to break up because in weekly chart, as you can see, market keep on creating higher high and higher high and higher high, and higher high. So in the long run, okay, in the long run, it's still in a uptrend, but in the short term, it need to have a retracement first. Okay, it need to have a retracement first. Okay, this is very important. Okay, so this is for New Zealand dollar. So we go for the next, which is New Zealand cat. So New Zealand cat mostly the same thing. Okay, because already reached a very historical high. So we look into weekly chart to look at the market. Okay, so for this chart, okay, we can see the market wanted to come to this key line, okay, this key line, okay, and then another key line will be here, okay. So in this situation, okay, in this situation, we can see that market able to retreat to this level, and we can see a upside exposure, okay. So many to say there's an opportunity also, market straight come to this level, retest here, then only drop, then going up, okay. So there's a two potential here, okay, two potential here. So I can see another key line, okay. So market will reach my key line, okay, market did reach my reach my key line. So we can see, okay, so I'll be observing here, okay. So where I circle, okay, I will look into smaller time frame. Okay, let me highlight this area. Okay, this area. So I'll be looking to smaller level like H4 or day one. Okay, look for any opportunity to go for short. So until now, okay, until now, the seller is not coming in yet. Okay, it's not really coming in yet. So I'll be observing for this trade first. But this all okay, all the New Zealand pair, okay, all the New Zealand pair is in highly potential for short trade to be happen, right? To short. So short around 200 or 300 pips is possible. Okay. So this also the same. Okay, this also the same. When you look into daily weekly chart. So as you can see, this level a lot of okay, a lot of seller. So but in the daily time in weekly time frame to say that there's an opportunity to for the market to bring the market down, and then as you can see buy keep on creating higher high higher high higher. So the seller will bring the market to the buyer, and we can see an upside exposure. Here we can see an upside exposure. Okay, and then the last of entity will be entity yen. So we look into the daily. Okay, so daily basically, okay, we can see the market is building something as what we say as a triangle. So this is the bottom line, and this is the top line, and this is the top line. Okay, so this is what we call as some of people will say triangle because the form is like triangle, right? Okay, so in this triangle, I will be observing after, okay, after the market break at the one side, okay, but by looking at the trend, there's a potential of breaking upside, okay. This is the first indication that we know. By following a trend, is there's a high potential to break upside. But okay, but if I zoom out a bit, okay, when I zoom out a bit, I can see that market is almost reached the top price, okay, top highest price in the history, okay, which is this is the time that during 2020 December. So market already reached this area. Can you see this is considered a seller area. So in this area, if the buyer is still able to, is still in strength, okay, but if buyer is still in strength, there's an opportunity to bring down. But now I'm concerning is because that the buyer, okay, the buyer bring the market already entering a seller zone. So seller haven't win, okay, seller haven't win, so we are still following buyer, but there's a high potential, okay, high potential, okay, high potential. The market is going to break downside, okay, it's going to see downside, more downside, okay, which is it going to drop and you can see upside. So generally to be said, first it's going to drop is in high potential, okay guys, everything is just in potential, okay, potential, but it's high potential to for the market drop first, and we can see a upside exposure again, okay, because so that's why I used to say, even though, okay, even though you see this, okay, that as I what I teach you is there's a potential for the market to break up, but you also need to see which area market is now at, okay, which market is now at, like this, okay, like this, as you can see, market, yes, very bullish, 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 but here it dropped. Why? Because it entering a seller area, okay, you see seller area, that's why the seller bring the market down first, and then still consider uptrend. What, even though this kind of drop is still considered uptrend, that's why buyer bring the market again. That's why you not only just you wanted to see your skill, okay, not only just skill or strategy, you also need to observe where the market is now, and where the market is now, and then where the market is in the area now, okay. So next we go to gold, okay. So for gold trade, okay, for gold trade, for gold trade, so one thing we can observe that, okay, this definitely a very strong support area lah, right? To be honest, okay, this area definitely a very strong support area. And then another thing that we can say that we can see support is always maintained at the same level, right? Always maintained at the same level. But just one thing that the lower high, okay, as you can see, this is a high, but this is considered a lower high. Okay, this entire area is just a lower high. Okay, as you can see, the highs keep on decreasing, okay, keep on decreasing, but the support, okay, support between the lower low, if you want to say this is a lower low, okay, but as you can see, this lower low, all the entire lower low, okay, all the entire lower low is just in the same low. Okay, so what story that the market tell us? They're telling us that, okay, basically, even though the seller is keep on having pressure or having enough big pressure, but we as a buyer, we are still controlling over this area. So for those seller come to this area as a buy area, so those seller must, okay, must respect buyer. So I will, if you mention about buy, okay, I will be looking to buy trade for this. So this area, okay, which is the latest market area, I will wait for setup. So usually setup, I'll be looking to H1 or H4 to have the trade. Okay, so basically market now already has set up and then already break the lower high. Okay, so as you can see, so next week, right, for gold, okay, for gold, we can see slightly exposure or upside exposure. So there's a correlation for to all the pair, okay. Usually if gold, okay, gold, okay, if you look into gold, okay, gold, if gold up, okay, gold went up, rise up, so GBP, and then USD, all these pair will be dropping. Okay, this is their correlation, and this is the correlation. So you may observe, okay, observe gold in buying position. I'm looking at buying position. Of course, okay, of course, gold is content of high risk than forex pair. That's why always follow your own risk management. Okay, because your own risk management doesn't mean that your risk management can same as I, okay? Because I teach you like you're following your 5% or 10%. Maybe I'm more risk taker than you, okay? More risk taker than you. I can just hold like 20% or 30% of my capital. This doesn't mean that I'm in gambling, okay? But by the way, to be honest with you, everyone entering this market, there's no 100% winning rate, right? That's why everyone is just in gambling, but I'm just willing to invest or risk more than I want so I can get a better or profit. But I only entering a bigger lot size, okay, when I see that there's a huge opportunity. So how I can see that which has much more huge opportunity or potential to grow, this is I can say that this is all based on your uh experience to see, okay, experience to see. Okay, so when we look into day one of GBP USD, okay. Mm, okay, so we can see a very clear resistance here. Okay, very clear resistance. So as you can see, this resistance, okay, this is also a resistance. So in this situation, okay, might be a lot of seller will coming in to sell, okay, might be a lot of coming in to sell, but in the trend wise, as you can see, the market keep on growing, okay, so I will not advise you to short here because why? Because as you know, seller will come in here, what, okay, but in the same time, if you really pay attention in the market, you will see that the market is just keep on rising, what, in the market is just keep on rising. What for you go for a short trade? Okay, what for you go for a short trade? You just let the seller, you keep your patience, okay? You let the seller bring the market down first, okay? Bring the market down first, then you look for a buy opportunity to upside. Because first thing we can see that the market is just keep on rising one. Maybe you think, oh, this is a key line, then you want to go short. But if you go short, means that you doesn't pay enough attention in the class, and then that's why this is the reason you must come for a revision. Don't just keep silent. Okay, I know that a lot of people are keeping yourself in silent. You are afraid to ask, but okay, but if you keep on facing this kind of issue, why don't you give yourself an opportunity to get your clarified? Okay, so this area don't short. Okay, try don't short because there's a high potential for the market to just break upside. Of course, okay, of course, there's an opportunity, okay, opportunity to short down. Seller might come in because they have come in or they have came in one time already. As you can see, they drop the market. So there's a potential also market here to drop. Okay. So if I am you, okay, if I were you, I will just let the market bring the market down first. Let the seller, okay, I'm not going to pretend any seller. I just let the seller bring the market down and I'm going to see an upside exposure. I will go for a trend. Okay, I will go for a trend. I'm not going to short this trade. Okay, or if you want, if you really itchy, okay, if you're really itchy, so you may short here. So your SL will be using this week, okay, using this week to place. So place always add your buffer. So for how much buffer, so you may follow your own strategy. Okay, so this is for GBP USD. Then next will be GBP or D. Okay, GBP or D. So GBP or D last week, we all of us, okay, all of us, including my members as well. Okay, members, all the members, okay, we did make some profit. Okay, so when we sell, okay, this trade we have a buy position. Okay, because from left to the right, okay, from the left to the right, market already from a downtrend, it changed to uptrend. So next week we can see that the market is still able to grow, but the grow I can see first market going to drop first, and we can see upside exposure. Okay, as you can see, market already sure resistance. So seller will come in, okay, seller will come in because the trend wise, okay, trend wise already changed. Okay, trend wise already changed. They are already from a downtrend, they go for uptrend already. So just a retracement, then we can see your upside exposure. So, or if you wanted to have a better trade, okay, I can teach you something which is you draw a line here and draw a line here. If the market able to break upside, then you know that market is already controlled by buyer, and then they willing, okay, they wanted to bring the market keep on rising higher and higher and higher. Okay, so this is the analysis for the GBP Aussie. Okay, next we will go to GBP CHF. Okay, so basically this will be a very good trade. Why? Because range market one, a very clear range, a very clear range. That's why we can just if the market come back here, we can go for short. Okay, go for short. because in the trend wise, okay, in the trend wise for this GBCHF, okay, in the bigger trend to say that its entire thing is still in the sell trade, okay, in the sell trend. That's why I personally advise sell will be better than buy. Okay, sell will be better than buy. Okay, next will be GBP cat. Okay, so GBP cat, okay, so GBP cat, we can see the market just having a big drop. Okay, drop. Okay, so okay, retracing. So I'm seeing a huge downside. Okay, we can see that there's a huge downside. Why? Because okay, market already break the higher low. So where is the higher low? This is the higher low part. So market already break. So we can see this is just a retracement. Retracement. Okay, it can just retreat until up to this level and having a big drop. Okay, so there's no seller dropping sign yet at the moment. Okay, there's no seller dropping sign at the moment. That's why I'm personally seeing that buyer going to bring the market much more higher a bit. Okay, a bit. Then we can see downside. Just a bit. Just a bit. Okay, the next will be GBP CHF. Okay, so I look into day one only. Okay, day one. So in day one that okay in day one. Okay, in day one, okay, in day one. So in trend wise, okay, in trend wise, we can see that okay, I'm taking off short because of I'm looking in daily time frame. Sorry, H4 time frame to short. But okay, short. This is just a short term short. Mhm. So, okay. So I will just short until somewhere around here. Okay, somewhere around here. Because why? Because if we look into the market story, okay, when we look into market story, we can see that a lot of rejection is very strong rejection is over here. So the market able to come back to this level, and drop. But this trade, okay, this trade, I'm looking, okay, looking at H4. So let me explain to you during in H4 market. Okay, in H4 market, okay, in H4 market, in the trend wise, okay, in the trend wise, we can see that very clear. Okay, this is our higher low, then this is higher high, and then this is our lower low, and then this is another lower low, and then this is a lower high. As you can see, entire market is still in a H4. Okay, based on H4 is still in downtrend. That's why I'm taking just this trade based on H4. Okay, based on H4, so we can see a downside until here. So maybe here, this is the first level. I'm going to close some trade first. Okay, and then I just leave other trade to flow until this zone. Okay, until this zone, I will definitely close all my order. Okay, close all my order. So this is the GB yen analysis. So go for the next, which is the last of GBP, and the last of GB, which is the GBP New Zealand. GBP New Zealand. Okay, basically we can see that the entire area here, the entire area here, very strong support. Okay, very strong support. Even though this is a very strong support, as you can see, every time on the market reach this level, bounce up, reach this level, bounce up, reach this level. It could be bounce up, or because the trend, as you can see, this is a high and then this is high. Can you see that the high is actually decreasing? So this is what we say detailed analysis. Okay, detailed analysis. When you see that the high is keep on lowering, okay, decreasing, that means what? That means that seller first defend here, and then if seller want better price, seller able to wait again for the market to reach this high price and then seller sell. But this time seller is not waiting for the market to retrace to this high. They just wait the market retrace to this level and push out, which means what? Means that seller is now much more pressure, because as we know that seller salary is definitely an so-called expensive to them. Okay, expensive to them because they are selling much more lower price than before. So we can see that since the seller is force is so much strong, okay, seller force is so much strong from there, so there's the potential for the market just break for this time. Okay, so if I was you, if I were you, what I'm going to do is I will place a line here first. Okay, I can see if the market come back to here, I go to short. But there's an opportunity. Why? There's an opportunity for market to break upside because of this is a very strong support. Okay, so I advise you either you place a line, either wait for the market to break upside first, or you wait for the market to break downside, then you go for short trade. But I personally advise, look for sell will be much more better. Why? Because the trend, as you can see, this all these things you need to be focused in. Okay, that's why experience is much more important than your skill. Okay, experience is much more important than your skill. That's why this is, if you want to build a skill, your experience is a lot. You need a lot of experience. That's why some of my members come to me. Why I learn from you already 6 or 7 months, I still cannot focus. Okay, the problem is, I can say that the problem is during this 6 to 7 months, the market doesn't move a lot, to be honest. Okay, if you look into the market, the mostly move is in gold. Okay, if you want to see fast result, that's why you need to look into gold. And then if you're not using a little bit amount of real money, you can't really understand the market. Why I say like that? Because when you use real money, this is where you train your skill. Okay, so for Euro USD, mostly the same thing. Okay, you can see that this is the lower high market break. So every time market test back the lower high, drop, test back the lower high, drop. So test back. So this area, might be also drop. It might be also drop because seller is still able to defend. So maybe something like double top is going to happen, then you can see a huge downside. Okay, basically I'm seeing a quite huge downside for Euro USD. Okay, quite downside for Euro USD. Okay, the next will be Euro GBP. Okay, Euro GBP. Okay. So Euro GBP. Okay, so this is the key level. Okay, so as you can see, it's very strong support level, right? Okay, sorry. Okay, as you can see here, very strong support. Okay, so during this time, there definitely a lot of buyer going to buy here. Okay, a lot of buyer going to buy here. Okay, so I can see buyer very strong over this area. Right, to be honest, to say buyer is very strong over this area. Why say that? Okay, so in a what? In buyer eyesight, okay, as you can see, okay, let me give you a very simple test. Okay, from this level, as you can see from this level, how long does the market take from here to here? Okay, let us calculate. So let me drag this. Okay, drag this until this high. Okay, so how many days? Okay, it's around like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 days for market to reach how many pips? For market to reach like 400 pips. Okay, 7 days. Okay, 7 days of time for the market to reach that high, which is at 400 pips. So for the market to recover for this 400 pips, as can you see, right? Can you see how many days market need to cover, right? From here to here, it consists about like 50 days, okay, 48 days. 48 days 48, listen carefully, is around 7 times of the buyer force, which means seller is what? Seller very weak during, to be honest, that seller is quite weak because seller is pushing, as you can see, they sold 48 to 49 days for the market to bring to this low. But for buyer from this level, bring to this level, they just require of 7 days. 7 days, right? 7 days for buyer and then 48 days for seller. So in this situation that we know that who is much more stronger, okay? Who is much more stronger. So we can see, okay, there's a potential for market to reach to this level, you can see upside. Okay, this is all what we call as detailed market analysis. You need to really understand, okay, talk to the market often. Okay, please talk to the market often. Okay, so basically this is all also same thing. This is very strong support level. Okay, strong support level, very strong support level. So we can see that if market able to break this high, then we can see a potential upside, a potential upside. But until now, seller is still in control. But just market already entering a buyer zone now, a buyer zone. So in buyer zone, definitely buyer will be having much more force than a seller. Okay, H4, day one. Okay, so basically Euro situation, Euro situation, you can see the market is already been fighting for quite some days. So if we adjust, if we calculate, okay, and then we calculate, okay, like 8 days of fighting, right? As you can see, 8 days of fighting, right? 8 days of fighting. So in this, like we going to see some choppy market, but highly potential for the market to drop because if buyer wanted to grow, continue to grow, it must make a new high. In this situation, means what? Means that buyer is unable to create a new high because of the force push by seller. So which means we can know that something like buyer, the power between buyer and seller are actually equivalent, right? Equivalent. So the next will be Euro New Zealand. Okay, Euro New Zealand. So basically, okay, so we still having downside exposure. So last time when we shot a trade in Euro New Zealand, I hold like 400 pips already from this pricing, okay, this here to here. I've hold like 400 some pips, okay, still holding, okay, still holding for that trade, okay, still holding for that trade. So actually I can close up because already reached this bottom, okay, this bottom. So this bottom will also attract a lot of buyer in, okay, buy in. So as we are disciplined trader, so please wait for the market to retrace, then you take the opportunity. Okay, so last in euro, okay, euro pair. Okay, so in this situation we can see very clear, okay, this is what, this is our higher high, higher low, higher high. So basically, even though market have a big move, so entire thing is still in a downtrend. Okay, still in downtrend. But just in this situation, market might make retrace first, then you can see a downside. Okay, might retrace first, then we can see a downside. And then we come to others pair. Okay, then we come to others pair, which is first we come to USD yen first. Okay, so USD yen, wow, let me zoom in a bit. Okay, in trend wise, okay, in trend wise, market is still controlled by seller. As you can see, this area, very strong seller. So setup form again, okay, for sell setup or reform, but for buy setup haven't formed yet. Okay, so it might retrace first. Okay, I will be retrace. I will wait for retrace. Retrace up to this level. Yeah, this level. This level. Then I will look for my confirmation to have a trade. Okay, USD CAD. Okay, USD CAD. In this situation, I'm not going to do anything first because if I wanted, I see a buy potential. Okay, I can see a buy potential, but I will wait for the market to create a new high first. Okay, which is it able to make a high, but this high it must be higher than this and then close. Okay, the candle must be something like this. Okay, it must close at it must close higher than this level and higher than this level, or else I'm going to see a downside again. Okay, next will be USD CHF. Oh, okay, USD CHF. Okay, so for this USD CHF, okay, I will be observing for this thing to happen, which is I will observe for the market because already left shoulder already complete. Okay, this is the left shoulder. Okay, I will be wait. This is the head, right? So I'll be waiting for another shoulder to happen. Then we can see upside exposure. But until now, okay, until now, seller is still controlling. Okay, seller is still controlling until now. Okay, until now, seller is still controlling. If the market able to create a new high, then we can say that buyers gain back the market. Okay, buyer already gain back the market. Then come to CAD CHF. Okay, basically CAD CHF mostly the same thing. Okay, they are having like higher high, higher low, higher high. So it can retrace up to this level and go up. Next we will CAD yen. Oh, okay, good. Okay, CAD yen we can see for this now, I can see that this is the previous lower low, and then lower low again, and lower low again. But market just create a new high. Okay, so we can see that around this area there's a huge buying potential for us to look at the upside, which means what? Means that CAD, okay, CAD now come back in strength. Okay? CAD now is come back in strength. So as we just now we analyze for the CAD CHF, okay, CAD CHF, they are mostly the same, but just there's a potential for the CAD CHF to drop and we can see upside. So CAD yen also having the same story. That's why these two we say that okay they are having the same direction. So the the credibility, okay, the credibility, which is the the confidence in those pair, okay, in those pair, I will be having higher confidence level, a higher confidence level. So the next will be CHF yen. Okay, CHF yen. So basically market also like forming something very forming something. So I going to order the market first for this CHPN. But if the market not forming anything, we can see still downside. Okay, if CHF, okay, if CHF continue to have downside because in trend wise, okay, in trend wise it's still in downside, right? So if CHF still continue have a downside, okay, so means that USD CHF also going to up because it's in correlation, in correlation. So the last will be okay. Like again, okay, we analyze for gold. Okay, so for gold, we can see that okay, okay. So for gold, we can see that it's still in buy okay. Because we can see that the buying level here is quite strong, okay, quite strong. Because as you can, this those like this is happen during the news time, right? So usually, okay, usually market will took some time, okay, took some time for the market to recover, okay. So I'm seeing first, of course, I'm not going to directly see drop and we buy until here. So that might be facing like something like this. Okay, let me again and then so it might happening something like this. It's going to drop and then this level and drop back and then go up, drop and then go up again. Slowly, slowly. Staircase by staircase. Okay. Market always always performing and traveling like working at a staircase. Okay, so this will be the end of the market analysis for the 23rd, okay, 23rd until the 29th of November. Yeah, so we're going to meet on the next market analysis section. Okay, so from tomorrow onward, which is Monday, okay, Monday, so we will not having any Facebook live section anymore. Okay, so everything will just conduct in private way, okay, private method. Okay, so if you are new, or even though you are existing members, okay, in this I mean in the upcoming Wednesday, okay, upcoming Wednesday, which is 25th, okay, 25th of November 2020, we're going to have a live free foundation classes for everyone. No matter if our members or non-members, okay, you may join the section, okay, you may join the section. Later on, we're going to place a link below, okay, a link below for you to join the section. So the session will be held on Wednesday, 20, okay, 25th of November, 8 p.m. start, okay, 8 p.m. So this will be the market analysis for the upcoming week, and I'm going to see you on next class. So remember to join. So for my members, existing members, take it as a practice or revision section. So the section will be conducted in Mandarin version, okay, Mandarin version. Okay, see you and have a safe trade.